I don't know
need that back support in my back.
Okay.
Well, hello everybody. That was a very weird intro right there. I usually do the welcome to Raging Love.
Hey, we're here.
Where
We're here.
we,
It's
all right,
because
all right.
we're ready. We're excited about
Let
tonight's
me,
show.
okay. Then let me do the intro real quick for the people, for the American people. So, welcome to Raging Love, where we passionately debate, very passionately today, debate, explore, and review topics about religion, science, history, and current events. Very current events. Now, this is a place where we don't pledge allegiance to kings, cults, or birthday dictators. All right. So let's welcome the cousins, which is Joe and D. What name do
Yeah,
you want to go by? I don't know. I just call you
we got the
D just
third
because I
cousin
was
joining
like,
tonight. Yeah,
Yeah,
the third cousin joining tonight. We're
all
hyped
right,
for tonight's show.
all right. So we were having some trouble with the sound. So let us know in the chat in the comments if the sound is really bad. Then maybe we can do something else about it. So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing good tonight, AJ. How are you?
Pretty
It's
good.
been an
Tired,
interesting.
but
Well,
good.
it's been an interesting day. Actually, we were watching part of the parade this evening, and it's quite the spectacle. I mean, it's a complete show. Um, so yeah, and then the protest earlier today, all over the nation. It's I think it's been an experience for a lot of people. It's good to see people actually being active and involved in what's going on in the political climate. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like to pay attention to politics, but I would like to say tonight that you probably should at least pay a little bit of attention to what's going on because there's a lot of global events taking place right now. A lot of powerful moves happening. Um, and that's not, I mean, those are global concerns. Just think of, and we have so many things going on here in the States as well. So it's kind of like very turmoil times right now. We all have to stay together and learn how to maneuver these times. What do you think, cousin?
I think today in Houston there was about 15,000 or 25,000 people.
I've seen different numbers. I mean,
25?
I was there and I've been in that actual spot before, as AJ has spoken before about the March for Science that she put together. And the crowds were very similar. I do feel like maybe there were slightly just a few more people there this time, but nothing against what AJ put together. It was good to feel to be around that many people again with that same mindset. Um, I mean, it's great. It's a great feeling, you know, to see that you're not just the only person out there that feels like there's something going on that's just not right, you know. So I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling that as we talk to people tonight that are watching. And thanks for tuning in. We decided we were just going to do this live out of kind of a spur of the moment. So hope everybody's having a good evening, a Saturday evening. Um, we've been watching a lot of live streams. You have so much going on with Israel, with Iran right now. We have the political turmoil with, you know, what we're dealing with immigration here in the States and the Trump administration with their, you know, what they're trying to force upon the people. You know, we've held many live shows where we've talked about Christian nationalism, and I mean, politics and religion and power. Those are like three words that pretty much run the world. It's like it's scary times right now, but if I think we stick together, that we're able to. You have to stay united.
Can you tell them what's happening right now in Iran that we saw that was just like it changed our mood completely? Tell them what happened.
Well, I've been watching a lot of international live television, and some of the broadcast channels that I've been watching were, you know, directly from Iran. And I know we talk about religion. Well, AJ does, and I jump in on conversations. So I mean, it was definitely they were showing on almost every channel. They were showing like very religious stuff. Like it was like one of their mosque and
Sad
they were playing
music.
like very, very sad, like it was like Arabic, I would assume, right?
The end,
And
basically.
it was like very just like mind blowing. Like it kind of like drew you in, just like staring at. I don't know what they were singing, because I'm not familiar with that language, but it just shows you that this is I mean, religion draws conflict. I mean, the war in the Middle East has been based on religious wars. I mean, it's we always talk about the Bible and all these stories, you know, and people actually follow that to the extreme, to where they'll die for that God and that belief.
Yeah, because there's a really big difference when you think
I'm
about,
very
you know, like,
sorry.
Don't cut her. Don't cut her.
Honestly, I apologize, and I'm very chatty tonight because I'm just like it's been a very like provoking day, I guess. Like we're really
yeah.
good to do that.
Yeah. No, I was saying that there's a very big difference. You know, like when we discuss religion on this channel, often we usually talk about belief, right? Like whether you believe something and the rationality of believing something. But when it comes to what's going on in the world today, that seems really trivial. Like it's not really that important right now. It's more so when you look at completely extreme sides, not just politically, but in, as far as religion. When you think about Islam, um, there's, you know, like average people that are Muslims that are, you know, really good people, uh, family people, just your average citizens. And then there's extremists that take over an entire country, like in the 70s, like what happened with the Iranian Revolution. And I had a conversation with somebody who used to be a Muslim, and we kind of disagreed on this. And I think because he's seen the extremes that Islam took Iran to. And I was asking him, this was a couple months ago, and I was asking him whether he thought what was going on in America was taking us toward the same direction with Christian nationalism, um, to where we're going to see such an extreme religious overtaking of our entire government and country. And he was like, "No, there's like nowhere near that." And we see this kind of stuff today, and we're like, "Well, you know, we I think we kind of are headed there."
Yeah, we're at that
So
moment. We are there for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I would have to take time to search for it. Like we watched the clip earlier of the parade that Trump was throwing there in DC, and at one point they were showing. Well, what were they showing?
Just Trump.
They were just like
Melania,
zoomed in.
and
Yeah, they were like zoomed in really close on Trump. Yeah, Melania and who else was?
Pete.
Yeah, Pete Hegseth was on the left hand side of Trump.
And what is Pete? Just so they context.
Yeah, it was. They were showing power, like that. He represents like our military, right? He's defensive military. So I mean, they were showing he was like next to Trump. It was kind of scary. They were playing some weird like Viking like type war music, like going along with it while they were zoomed in really close to his face. It was just like really, really weird. I want to try to find that clip, but I would probably have to go searching for it, and it would take forever. So
yeah.
we'll try to find it and try to share it. Yeah.
All right, yeah, just while you're looking that up, there's a comment on the side. Dan D says, surprising how much 45 millions of the people's money can be blown in an afternoon. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, like while Trump was celebrating his $45 million birthday party with tanks and flags and all of his fascist cosplay, I guess you could call it. You know, the rest of us were out there on the streets reminding him that America is, you know, uh, is a free country, and like what freedom and what democracy really looks like. And his parade, that's not what democracy looks like. So I thought that the No King's Day parade was kind of like a middle finger, you know, to his authoritarian fantasy that he
But
has
like
to
in
try to be
Houston,
like.
and I know for sure in like other cities as well. You know, we were talking about earlier about how we're using the word peaceful. It's a peaceful protest, Can you talk about that? What we were talking about earlier, using that terminology when you're talking about protesting.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Let me pull it up real quick so that I can explain it a little bit better. This was from when I first helped organize the March for Science. I met this other organizer who works with Indivisible Houston. Well, Indivisible is actually an organization that's all over the country. Um, but anyway, so he made a post, and I'm gonna read it because I think his words are better than my words. So anyway, so his name is Daniel Cohen, and I'm sure like a lot of people in Houston know him very well. So he said, every time a new spike of energy creates an influx of volunteers into movement work, there is a repetition of history, a recursion of themes. The new organizers relearn the old patterns and lessons and develop their own theories of change or hold onto the old ones. Here is one: peace versus nonviolence. Peace is often used as an antonym for aggression or violence, but it's not though. When you want peace and quiet, you're not asking for a war to end. You want the music turned down. Martin Luther King and Gandhi are not traditionally called peaceful organizers or demonstrators. They're known for practicing nonviolence. Seems arbitrary? It's not. Peaceful protest is conformative. It blends in with the everyday patterns you see, the status quo. It refuses to challenge the system around it. Nonviolence can be disruptive, thereby challenging the system. Sit ins, boycotts, blocking a street are nonviolent disruption that breaks laws. Projecting images, flash mobs, and banners is in unusual places disrupts psychology and social norms, as should any effective street action. So when you write, keep things peaceful, keep in mind that means something to people beyond don't erupt into bloody fist fights. It sounds like you want people to sort of sit in a corner with their signs and blend into the system. And that's not how change happens. So that is kind of, he's kind of just trying to say, don't ask people to be peaceful, to like sit down and take it, basically. Like when you ask for non-violence, you're just asking for people not to destroy their own cities, right? Like don't destroy your own mom and pop businesses along the streets that you're marching on, but rather like disrupt the law and disrupt the social norms in different
Just
ways
be a
that
voice, be a
don't
megaphone
require
for a voice.
violence.
Yeah, I think you just like when we protest like that, we just like today in Houston, it was, I mean, it was everybody behaved. I mean, even HPD was like very, very good with the protesters. Like I really didn't see any scuffles or anything occurring. And I mean, I don't know. I think the media sometimes tries to portray some of these protests uh, worse than they are. Sure, there's always going to be people that are going to use extremism as a way to lash out towards like the system trying to oppress you. So I understand that does exist. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I mean, and I don't know. This whole thing is just like sometimes I get lost for words trying to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a hard, like it's a tough line to walk when you're trying to not be violent, and then you have the National Guard pushing back at you. Like it makes you want to push back even harder, right? And I think in those type of situations, it's warranted. Like I mean, it is the result of what they're doing, right? What Trump did by sending the National Guard to LA was illegal. And so people are fighting back on that. But I would
Well, me
say
and
like the rest of the country was like, you know what, we don't need that because the protests that we've been having are not they're not violent. They're not like we don't need the police to police what we are doing.
Well, it's
So
like I think this makes what night 3, where there's protests going on, and I assume, well, me and the cousin were talking earlier about how it's that Gavin Newsom needs to step in, and since the court ruled in his favor, that Trump violated the rights of the state, and he needed to pull turn control of the military back over to Newsom in terms of the reserve, well, not reserves, but the National Guard.
National Guard.
So
yeah,
and the Marines need to leave because there should be no military there to enforce any type of laws towards citizens. From what I understand, the judge ruled. So, but whether Trump's actually going to follow that and release the control of National Guard back over to Newsom, I don't know if that occurred. I'm not sure. Do you know about that or no?
He should know.
Yeah,
he should know.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of if you let the people know that he's like, we were trying to talk about how can we de-escalate the tension that's already there between the police that are on the ground, which is the sheriff, and it seems like mostly LAPD now, our California PD. So I don't know, like, how do they de-escalate that and bring the tension down at this time?
Well, look at that. My bitch is in the house, infidel. That's
Look
Glenn.
at the trees.
That's
I don't
Glenn
agree
right
with everything that Gavin Newsom has to does for his state, but I do know that Republicans talk big about state rights, and then they're gonna let Trump just like bash all over the state rights and be like it's okay. And
right.
the clashes that are ongoing over there was very, very small in terms of like how large LA is. It was kind of, I would say it was almost isolated. I mean, it looked like it was bad in the media because like you're watching live streams and feed and footage from those from the different clashes that happened, but you have to come to a time where you can de-escalate.
But this guy wants violence.
That's look at the trees.
Saying.
Look at the trees. I don't know what to say to that.
So
I am disappointed, I guess. Yeah, disappointment. I mean, there is a time for fighting back to the extreme. Are we at that point? Oh, maybe we are. I'm sure there are some people that feel like maybe, but you should always. I feel that we just have to show that we have the numbers, that we have people that all connect the same and all feel like we're going in the wrong direction. You have to take the first. I think we all have to like try to connect with each other and show them we're in numbers. We have numbers equal a lot of equals a voice. We have to be a voice for everybody, like all of us together, and let them know so we can be heard. And I think today that all these people on the streets, that it put a blip on their radar. Like they see that there is something rumbling. That many people gathering against it.
Revolution.
Yeah, for me personally, like if we push back with violence, then they're gonna push harder with more violence, and where are we gonna end up with a lot of dead people? All right. So I like what Infidel is saying, a national strike, shut everything down. That's the way you hurt. That's the way you hurt the rich. That's how you hurt the rich. Okay, because look at what Trump did last night. He put an executive order telling ICE to stop arresting people at their workplaces, in hotels, restaurants, and some other spots. Why? Because it was hurting his rich buddies. All right.
So hurting the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, but okay. So Tree says that numbers are worthless if they're not destroying the infrastructure.
No,
but
look at trees.
That is how.
You're the problem. You're the problem. Look at the trees. You definitely you're the problem. I don't agree with that at all, man.
Okay. In Look at the Trees defense, I am very familiar with Look at the Trees. He's a very cool guy, but I think he's very angry. Like we all should be very angry.
We are all emotional.
So
okay.
I'm coming to your defense, man. Like, don't. but I understand. I understand wanting to tear everything down and burn the whole house down.
No, we
But
feel
then
like that. There are
but
times
then
we
we're
feel that
homeless.
way.
But then we end up homeless, right? If we burn the
Yeah,
house down,
it's
we
gonna
end up
digress.
homeless. So I think that by destroying the infrastructure, we could take that metaphorically and be like what Infidel was just saying, destroy them from the bottom up, from their where it hurts them really, and that's their money. Like the big companies, like the
I take my words
millionaires that
back.
are out there.
You're not the problem. You just have a different way of solving the problem than I do.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I apologize for that.
What's this
A
way though?
different approach.
What's
Yeah.
this way?
Violence, destruction.
So
Yeah.
you want humanity to wipe ourselves out then?
He wants to fight against the oppression, like directly, like confront it.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I understand.
Yeah, nah. But it just gives them
Well,
more.
yeah. I think it's just the way
I
some
appreciate that,
people
Lady Tree.
have been that some people have been oppressed for so long that they ultimately reach a point where they don't want to take it peacefully anymore. You know, it's kind of like they're being told so many times to sit down and be peaceful that
Yeah.
they've reached
No,
that point where it's like,
I understand. You
yeah,
can only be pushed down so many times, or feel like you've been oppressed for so long before you
right,
that is the way that you respond. So no, I understand it. But
yeah, we
I was
are,
just thinking what you were saying. I think it does lead to being of pushing us back, basically. Like yes, it can push us forward, but it's in an aggressive nature, which is kind of like what they're doing to us. Do we really? I mean, I don't know.
Read what it says. Read this.
Yeah, we would
yeah,
still have people just everyone just marched around. Yeah,
well,
I
but
agree.
we
I
had a military to push back, right? So like the people of America that are right now uh, storming the streets to march are not the kind of people like the magas that are fully loaded with all kinds of weapons. Like those are the type of people that might go out and shoot everybody and try to take over the military. But our side doesn't have that type of military force to take on the actual military that the U.S. has. It will be a massacre. It will be a massacre. Could we take it? I don't know. I don't think so. But I think that if the liberals, the woke left, as they call us, were to try to take over the U.S. military, what will happen is all of these MAGA
Hey,
crazies will come out with their guns and shoot us all down. Uh, so
yeah, thank you for your service, Look at the trees, man.
Yeah, thank you for your
Like I
service.
said again earlier, I said no disrespect, man.
Yeah.
Like, definitely see where you're coming from.
yeah,
Oh man, I'm messing up on here. Hold up.
because
Which one did you click on? There we go. Okay.
yeah, so you made a good point, right, that the military will either split or take on the citizen side. We did see today there was actually one of the protesters at the Houston protest. He was what was he, like National Guard or something like that? He was in in something from the army. I'm not sure exactly what his
He was in the Marines.
Yeah, I think it was
basically.
Marines.
okay,
Yeah.
Marines. All right.
Marines.
And so he was there protesting. He was in full gear, and he had a sign that said that his oath was to the Constitution, not to a king or something like that. And he was there was a security guard that was telling him that he was wrong for
Yeah,
being
he
up
was,
there
he was getting
in
hard.
his full.
But we don't respect the Constitution. Trump doesn't respect the Constitution. So what?
Right, yeah.
That's true. I don't know. They were trying to tell him it was stolen valor. I was like, it's not stolen valor.
No.
I don't think it is. Maybe I'm incorrect. I always thought stolen valor was when you falsely represent that you're military, but you're not.
Let's actually look at the thieves. True.
Yeah, but I think there are a lot of people who are in the military or any kind of army or service person that definitely feel pressured to obey the constitution and to obey the orders of their commander in chief, even if they don't agree with it. And if they were to turn around and not want to do it, then they will be punished for it. But yeah, so I agree with Infidel that that at some point, I'm sorry, with Look at the Trees, that at some point they will either split, and some of them will come to the civilian side, and with whatever expertise they have to fight with us. But I don't think we're there yet, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like right now. Yes,
You could feel the division, right?
there's
You could feel there's
there's
division. It's like,
There's anger.
yeah, there's a lot of anger, and you know that some of the people that are in our military definitely don't side with all that, because I know plenty of people in the military that aren't like hardcore conservatives. I mean, there's a lot of Democratic people in the military as well, and I know that they don't side with this agenda that's being pushed.
But tell them what Trump did for his parade. Who did he select to go?
Yeah, well, I believe, I mean, from what I read and understand, most of the military members that were marching today, they were like hand selected to make sure that they were pro-Trump before they were.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
because they probably didn't want anybody like uprising or like opposing with
Causing problems. Yeah. So I mean, they're gonna keep pushing that agenda. I mean, we're not even a year in, right? And
No, not even 4 months only.
That agenda is gonna it's just gonna get like pushed and pushed like harder. It's like, I like to see that there is a lot of grassroots like political stuff that's being done out there. We saw Beto. I know he's going to be in Dallas coming up with Bernie Sanders. I mean, I wish I could go to that, but he's going to.
I know, that would be awesome.
Both of them, a lot of people give them slack, but I feel like especially Bernie Sanders, that old man, maybe he's made some side money somewhere, but I don't think, like, they say he has like 3 houses and shit. I don't know. That doesn't bother me, but he seems like a good person. Like he actually speaks, like he cares for like the American population.
He's honest with us
too.
too.
I feel like he is honest.
The only one.
I think we would be on a different timeline if he would have like won back when he was going up against Hillary, and then Hillary got the nomination, and then Trump won. But
well, why did he not get the nomination? Why did the Democrats go against him? So
I don't know. That can be a whole nother show. I mean, I don't think we can get into all that tonight.
I know, it would be like a completely different dimension, I guess.
Yeah.
Timeline, whatever you want to call it.
You go down that rabbit hole for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
what about Musso?
Hey, you like moose? I'm judge.
So like, well, yeah, were you gonna say something?
No, that's, we were just going on about that. I mean, it's cool to see that there's politicians like involved in grassroots movements right now, and I say Bernie Sanders, and especially Beto. I know he lost both his races here in Texas, but I feel like, man, that dude, he's just like, he talks to everybody. I mean, he's just like, he's very like, he'll talk to you about anything. When we met him, he seemed like so laid back, and you could tell, it seems like he really does care. He listens, he remembers like who he talked to up on stage after, he remembers what y'all talked about. I mean, everyone's gonna say, oh, that's just a politician. Yeah, you can tell when a politician's being sincere. I mean, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
So,
read it out loud for them.
Look at the Tree says, we need to ask ourselves what type of civil disobedience will be effective against the problems that we want to change.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Like right here, there's different escalation points, and what we're doing right now, I don't know. I think it's the proper line.
I praise those that do like maybe like sit-ins or where they block off like entrances to like immigration centers, like processing facilities, and they get arrested for that. I mean, that's civil disobedience, and that gains attention, and I support those people if they want to. They know the risk that they're going to get arrested for sure.
Yeah.
But for them to, they're not hurting anybody. They're just causing disobedience. And I mean, that's a good form of protest. If you're willing to get arrested, you're going to get booked and charged for it. So I mean, but it does get people talking because it brings.
But Trump forgave the January 6th.
Yeah, that's a whole man.
Right?
It does make you think about how all the protesters, all the people that were charged with, I guess, with criminal disobedience. I'm not sure exactly what they were charged with. The January 6th protesters that entered the Capitol and defaced it, and then Trump pardoned all of them. I mean,
Dang.
and then he got so that's what I wanted to talk about earlier. This is one thing that made it really want to do this live, spur of the moment. So they presented Trump with the flag that's been flying over the Capitol, the state Capitol, and they presented it to him in like a military like form, or like a soldier came up with it like wrapped up like when it's presented to a relative of a fallen soldier, and handed it to him, and that's just kind of like a slap in the face to like. And then Trump had a smirk on his face. I feel like that was just him like telling the American people that hey, look.
That's basically like handing him America like as a dictator to me.
It was horrible. It was horrible. I mean,
yeah, that's the worst. Like to give him a flag in that way, even though he dodged the draft by claiming bone spurs or whatever that was.
Well, I'm saying just that he's the reason that people were provoked and people did what they did to the Capitol for his little belief that he's that the election was being stolen. It's like I don't know. That was just messed up. And now his people, his followers are the ones who defaced that. He pardoned them, and now he was presented like the flag that flew over the Capitol, a place that he had his followers deface.
Yeah.
And most of those people are back in prison.
Who's in prison?
The rioters.
Oh yeah. Like the ones that he pardoned, but they're back in prison for different things.
Yeah, like, you're right. There are other things. Yeah, you're right. I did read about a few of them. I don't know how many of them though.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, I don't know exactly how many, but they got rearrested for other violent crimes. Yeah.
Dandy says they don't have enough people with the IRS. So.
Okay, I'm not sure what that comment is about.
Were we talking about the IRS? Man, I'm confused on that one, Dan. But where the process? Let me know in the chat.
Yeah, maybe he'll clarify. Maybe Dan will clarify what he means by that.
Out of what I was talking about. Did I just like miss like a whole conversation?
Thanks, AJ.
I don't know. Yeah, Trump and his first. Trump and his first.
Yeah, but anyways, like that parade today, the entire thing, like from the tanks that are gonna destroy the streets that are gonna be paid to be fixed by the taxpayers, to the demonstration of all of the military soldiers walking in different outfits from like historical times.
The red coat.
The flag, the flag presented to him. The whole thing was like, to me, it looked like something out of a North Korea video that you'll see Kim Jong-il doing or something like that. And it's like, why do you guys think that Trump and other authoritarian leaders like Putin and Kim are so drawn to this military show of force? Like, what do you think drives them like to do that? To think that that's not delusional? Could it be like I don't know, like certain insecurity, like small dick energy?
I don't know. We were talking about the poster we saw today, him and Putin.
Why did Putin?
Now it was interesting.
The poster, tell them.
Oh man, I think a couple of people saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell them, tell the audience what we realized about Trump today during this whole thing.
What do we realize?
He hates immigrants.
Oh,
Immigrant.
okay.
What
I see what Dan is saying. So he was trying to say,
Understand. Yeah.
basically, that one way to destroy the infrastructure of the system will be to not pay taxes, so that they
Yeah.
don't
Cut
have
off the
the
funding.
money to fund what the taxes fund. All right,
They'll
that makes
just
sense.
create their own money. They'll just create their own money.
But things will go bad though.
Right.
Things
Yeah,
will go bad, right?
I think unfortunately the ones that will be hurt are the people that are receiving help from the government. You know,
Yeah. That's,
like food stamps or like
yeah,
public
because
school.
government programs would stop being
Uh,
funded if you do that. But that's going to start hurting the people too, though, because the programs that the people support aren't going to be able to be funded.
Not only is he messing up he's creating wars out overseas. He's creating a civil war basically in America, and
Hey, look at the trees. I understand that. So yeah, kind of like they're showing that they can cut off these social welfare programs that a lot of people rely on as a way to saying like, look, we can cut off or we can close any. I don't know. I guess they can close any department that they want. Like I mean, they closed the Department of Education, right? They're dismantling everything.
I think it
yeah.
was 9 billion 2 days ago where they officially cut it off. USA
So
PBS.
did they finally finish dissolving the Department of Education, or am I wrong on that?
I'm
Huh.
not 100% sure. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm just curious now. I know that they were pushing hard because I don't want to make a misstatement on that because I
It's
might.
not true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that. I
Um,
know that they were pushing hard to do it though.
Also, find a video.
So you remember for it?
Yeah, you're gonna see that.
no, it seems like it is still
Still functional.
there.
All right, I said that incorrectly, everybody. We scratch that out.
It's okay.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna be looking at YouTube for a minute, trying to find that video.
Yeah, it's just saying that the Supreme Court.
Oh, so they did try to pass it like some type of maybe executive order, but it's being held up by the law.
Okay. Yeah, it says that
Okay.
groups urge the Supreme Court to leave an order in place that reinstates Department of Education employees. That was from like a day ago. So they were trying to get the workers back, basically.
Go to the live.
It was a live feed.
Remember?
Yeah.
So it's only upload live.
Yeah, so look at the trees. There is that the military is made of people like us, and Dr. Brand just got discharged. Yeah, I was talking to Dr. Brand recently on a live stream. He's a transgender doctor that is in the military, and he was
Yeah.
discharged because he is transgender. Basically, they told him they can't no longer keep him there, and so he's
Well,
been
yes, because
honorably discharged.
yeah, the
Even though
reverse.
he's like a perfectly healthy, smart young man, like though, like no, we don't want you here anymore just because of your gender identity, basically, which is fucking ridiculous.
I don't think that's it.
Um,
Hey, sorry. I'm trying to find the live stream earlier to show that part of the Trump parade. Like it was crazy. The video I talked about earlier, but I probably can't find it. He's got me looking for it.
Fine.
Yeah, let me try one more thing.
okay, yeah, you can send me the link if you want, or if you want to share it up there.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I wasn't prepared for tonight.
I know you told me like an hour before we put this on live, and I was like, oh, okay. I worked like a couple of questions, and that was about it. But I mean, I work best on the pressure. Okay, like most of my live shows are
It
Like
was
I
before the
schedule them
show.
ahead of time, but I like the day before or the day of, I'm writing down questions.
We tried before that, right? All right, hold on. I almost got it, I think. Or it was after he spoke. Let's see.
You almost found it.
Yeah. Sorry, I think we got it though. Oh, it
No.
was before he sang though, right?
Yeah.
Then look, was it before he spoke
Um,
then?
No.
what part are you trying to find? Like when they presented him with the flag?
Well, I guess I could show that part. Yeah. I was trying to
Oh
find
no, I
when they were
was sure.
playing some weird. Oh, but no, we can't play the music though because then we'll get copyright. We'll get flagged.
You can mute the sound.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find where
Yeah.
they're handing the flag. Then
And
let me
they
see.
play clips of the stuff, right? Like,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think we'll get flagged. Yeah, but you can keep the discussion going. I mean, I'm not trying to like lag it. That's why I was trying to look for it earlier, but I ran out of time. I had issues with the microphone and everything was going wrong. It was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think because we usually have a different setup, so it didn't work out so well.
yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it right now.
So
Then, yeah. So what else did you? What's been going on, AJ? I mean, what else should we talk about? I mean, I know this
Right.
politics is a hot item right now. I mean, it's affecting everybody's lives. Uh,
yeah. So let's get back for a second to the protests. All right. So I wanted to
yeah.
ask the other cousin. I know that you've been to some protests, but was this your first protest of this size, like this big?
Yeah. The last protest I went to was in Iowa, and yeah, that one wasn't as big as this one. We had 25,000 at this one in the middle of
Yeah.
downtown, walking flooded. There was cops there. We were keeping the peace. We did great, and we need more people. More people. Houston.
Yeah, we were just talking. So we looked it up, like the Houston metropolitan area. What did I say? 5.2,
7 million.
almost 6 million, right?
Yeah.
So out of like 6 million people that live in the general population area of the Houston metropolitan like area,
20,000
like
show up.
20,000, 25,000 people. That was awesome. Like it felt great, but just for the amount of people that are like here in this area to only have that amount of people show up, it makes me realize that there's so many more people that we need to reach out, connect to, let them know that they're not alone. I mean, we all have the same viewpoints. Get people to understand it's okay to be vocal.
I think everybody from every state should go to DC. Flood the whole city.
Yeah,
Right?
that would be crazy. Yeah, but if you do that,
Yeah,
they're gonna
I mean, that would
they'll
be
try
great.
to
It's
but
hard for
like
some people to make that happen, but you know,
Mm,
those that can do it should do it.
yeah.
So you think there's something I noticed. You know, there's always a lot of younger people involved in protests and stuff, but generally you see a lot more of the older generations. So
Yeah.
you are a bit younger than we are, and so what do you think? Like these type of movements like 5051 and indivisible and all of these organizations need to do in order to sort of attract the younger generation to be more involved in politics and in activism.
I would say just sympathize with the younger generation. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just the Democrats, we stayed afloat during the Joe Biden um his term.
administration.
Yeah, and but we were content with how we were. And young people can't afford to buy houses right now, which is true. And they're going through stuff. Doesn't make it better than or more important than what's going on right now, but it's it's everybody's fault that it got to this point. Now tell them what's on the verge of happening. Tell them.
Well, if you're looking at the global aspect of things that are going on, like with the war, I mean, with what just came into play with Israel in Iran, I mean that move was just insane. So I was discussing with the cousin earlier, like what needs to happen with that situation. So Israel is like basically the kid of the U.S. You
The
know
officially expert.
that we feed and sponsor in the Middle East. So I mean, uh, do we have to give a little slap on the hand to Benjamin?
Yeah, but it also
To-
has to be China.
yeah, but then we said China is like the father and Iran is like the little kid of China, and so they need to stand up to Iran and tell them they need to chill out. And
are we gonna trust those two guys to make the decision for the whole freaking
but
world?
that little small amount of people, just a couple few people, will make these decisions for like the whole globe, like the whole population here on the globe. It's kind of like a scary thought to think that we're
all it takes is 7 minutes to destroy humanity.
like
With
we're
nukes.
always that far away from like the
Yeah.
brink of like destroying mankind.
Yeah, that's very true. And I know that other cousin, you're Christian, and I respect that. Whenever I have guests in this channel who are Christian or whatever religion, nothing but respect, okay?
Yeah.
But we've talked about the extremes to which certain religions can go, and unfortunately, what we're seeing right now between Iran and Israel is a
Pretty war.
result of very extreme uh, religious beliefs and that have gone on for I would say decades, but it's probably longer than that. um, so I think that's why Israel feels like they're safe. It's because they know that they have the backup of the backing. I'm sorry, not the backing. The backing of the U.S. Because of the Christian nationalism that's brewing in America, and that has overtaken the government now. And so now the government is like, well, we gotta protect the chosen land, the holy land, the chosen
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And on the opposite end, which Christianity and Islam have always been at odds with each other. There's no question about that. They've always been butting heads, and even though they both believe in the God of Abraham, they serve the same God. It's really interesting because like they couldn't be any more different ultimately. Yeah, so that's where this stems from, really, from
Do
which
you
one is gonna win. Like which one is gonna be the leading religion in the end.
So even if you don't believe in religion, it's probably going to end your life because I mean the holy war is eventually going to happen, right? I mean,
but to live by Trump?
what
Is he really gonna fall into the holy war? He doesn't want to die.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Trump really going to take America down that pathway? I mean, is he gonna side with Israel and be like, okay, let's let them destroy
But here's the
Iran?
thing.
I mean,
I don't think that Trump is very religious. Okay, I
I mean,
don't
but he
think
portrays
he's
himself
that.
like that. So like a lot of his following think that he is.
But he
But
doesn't want to die
yes,
for religion.
but the people that are behind Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, are hands like no doubt about it. They're Christian nationalists,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
they're very extreme. And those are the people that are like funding his shit, and that's why he has to bow to them, and he has to do whatever they want, pretty much. And so he's following their book, their book of laws that they've written, which is like 900 pages of it. And he's already halfway through the 300 and something. I don't know what to call them, suggestions, or like suggestions for legislation and for things to do, like dismantling the Department of Education, and the way that they're rounding up on the immigrants, and all of those type of things are in line with everything that's in Project 2025. So he's just following that. He's following along. So he's gonna follow along whatever they want to do regarding the Middle East conflict right now. So
Well,
if they're like support Israel, he's gonna do that.
I find it hard to believe though that Israel would have made that decision without already having confirmation that the U.S. was going to back them, even though the Trump administration says they had no knowledge of it, because Israel, without the U.S. being drawn into it and protecting Israel, I think it's going to get to the point where they can't defend themselves. I mean, Iran's not their military might it's not that bad. They have a lot of missiles to shoot, and if if you've been watching on some of these attacks that have been occurring, they have I think you call them subsonic missiles, which
Supersonic.
they didn't. Yeah, supersonic. I apologize. They didn't think that they actually had that capability. And if you see the footage, you see their normal ballistic missiles coming in at their normal speeds, and those are getting intercepted. And then you see these other missiles that are like super fast. They just like come like through the screen like in a blip, and then you see the explosion. So they have the capability to hit targets inside Israel and cause destruction. I know that the U.S. military has been shooting down a lot of them and assisting with that. I mean, we have personnel there, stationed running a lot of the missile defense systems from the Iron Dome. So I mean, we're involved in it. I mean, there's definitely, again, like I said, there's definitely no way that Trump didn't already give them permission to do that. Even though we were supposed to be holding nuclear talks with them, I think this coming week, as I mentioned that earlier. So I think this was kind of like his move to try to let Israel do this and hit them like really hard. And then he was going to try to like force them to like negotiate, saying we won't destroy you or some shit like that, unless you like abide to whatever we're trying to tell you. And I fear that he's going to come out like supporting them. Like after this military thing that they did today, it was very pro like patriotic, and they were really like pushing like the national nationalist pride basically of fighting for your country. With religion. They were mixing religion into it. They were using
all the channels.
Yeah,
it was actually very emotional, guys.
So you have that on both sides, and I think it's gonna go somewhere that we haven't seen. Like the tension is finally like built to that point.
Since World War II.
Like with the leadership that we have in control right now, they're not going to be able to they know what they're doing, and they're purposely leading us in this clash, this direction, because that's kind of what they want.
That was the purpose of the whole parade.
And we're just going to be used as pawns. We're going to start a war. We're going to be losing, your brothers, your sisters, your relatives are going to be sent to fight.
But this
for something that I feel like could have been, it didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just so much tension going on in the world today. You have all these, like I mentioned earlier, you have just like these small amount of people that their actions or their decisions affect so many. We don't have a say so in it. We just have to like try our best to push back a little bit and to be heard. But in the end, they're in control. I mean, it's scary.
Yes, I think we sometimes, I don't know, maybe we failed at teaching the newer generations history that the world has had before, the world wars. Like what happened in the 1940s in Germany, right? Like we are kind of seeing parallels to a lot of what happened in Germany to what Trump is doing today, and I think this. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's a matter of forgetting history, because many of the older generation, you would think, will remember that. And there's some of them are in office and they're supporting all this shit. So
yeah,
it's social media too. To be honest, I really think one of the reasons Trump won is because his social media was off the roof. He was doing stuff. Yes, now we have some liberal Democrat TikTokers, but it's a little bit too late.
Social
We
media
have Trump.
it's a big outlet for political content, you
Like-
know, and I mean, people are on social media all day scrolling. So I mean, and you manipulate the algorithm of what's shown on people's feeds. I mean, that's key that you can change people's viewpoints or thoughts. I mean, but you censor out viewpoints that you don't want people to see, and you feed the viewpoints you want people to believe more into their feeds.
I wanted to make a point too, though.
Okay,
that
I took you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I wanted to. It kind of adds to what you're saying.
Okay.
Basically, Charlie Kirk spends his whole time debating with college students from the U.S. They're so forward. I don't know if you saw, but he had a debate with a bunch of English students from the U.K.
Charlie Kirk,
and they dusted him.
Wait,
Absolutely.
No. You're thinking of Jordan Peterson. You're thinking of Jordan Peterson.
Oh, Jordan Peterson?
What? Instead of Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
No, Charlie Kirk was there.
No, he said Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
It was the same convention.
It was Neil.
He was talking to a school, though, you said?
They were like around
Believe
him.
me, I am extremely familiar with what just happened. He got roasted.
He's looking too, though.
Roasted.
No,
Let me see.
Let's see.
He's gonna prove you wrong. He says.
There's like
she's gonna prove you wrong. She's gonna pull it up before you.
tons of YouTube
They both
videos.
happened, man.
Yeah, maybe they both got clown.
Oxford. It's Oxford.
Type
Oxford University. He said.
Jordan Peterson Jubilee. Just type that and you'll find like tons of videos. Let me see. Who am I gonna?
Yeah, he did pull up a video of Charlie Kirk as well, speaking at where did you say he's speaking at? At Oxford University. But let me show you. He pulled this up. He says that he got clowned. I don't know if you can see it.
He got destroyed.
It says Oxford University. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's a different one. So it was Charlie Kirk then?
There was one with Charlie. Yeah, there was one with Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. So both of them did.
I gotta watch it.
He said he'll send it to you. Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
man.
I'll send it to you.
All right. Yeah,
he
maybe
said
I
he
can.
Feminist. Was it
If
feminist?
Feminists and everybody.
He said everybody. Everybody look at the trees.
They were all educated. Not like the U.S.
Yeah. And what was going on?
Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up to see if I can put it on there.
I'm also sending you the link, AJ.
We can watch it. You got to send it to your own messenger, though.
Yeah.
I posted it.
So what were you? Yeah, send it to me somewhere.
Yeah, he's
where
sending
I
it
can
to me
click it.
on Messenger.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe in the
Messenger?
private chat.
Nah,
It's going to be on Facebook. Yeah, because she can't access it on the stream.
Yeah, I can get it on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what I told him. He was trying to text you on your phone. The
So
cousins.
was that about like politics or what was it about the topic?
politics. It was great.
Okay,
But how
that's
is
good.
it? It's like,
An hour 39.
is there a good part though? Like, did you remember?
Just skip to the.
It's like an hour and
Towards the
39.
end.
Maybe search for like clips of that video.
I just
People
picked.
probably have
I
key
just sent
points.
it. I just sent it.
He just texted to you.
Yeah. On Messenger.
Okay, I got it. So it looks like it's the. And he posted it on his own channel, and even though he got like, well, this one's like an hour and a half. Do you have?
Yeah, that's what I was just telling him. I asked him if he knew like where there was some good key points or like good discussion
Let me see.
on that video.
Oh,
Charlie Kirk.
At the end, just do the feminism. Yeah, that's a real notable one.
He said go to the end.
Yeah, even Lake the Trees.
Uh,
He doesn't like it.
But so was it like he was being asked questions though when he was getting
Yeah, they were basically debating, and you know what it all led to? Well, religion. You know, my religion says that Israel is in power, like they're the chosen country. So
who was he? He was defending Israel then.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. They're the chosen ones.
And that's really fucking. Man, sorry, excuse my French, but that's
it makes them feel invincible, basically, you know.
Yeah.
So it makes them feel like they can.
All right. Hopefully, my show doesn't get canceled by Charlie Kirk for sharing his stream.
What?
I'm just joking. I think we're fine. I think we're fine.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't know who I am, you know. I mean, I don't know. There's been
They probably have AI bots just scanning for audio.
Yeah.
They're gonna find you. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Let me take that.
So, like, how far down would you say?
Trying to show you. Where are you thinking?
A little bit forward. More. Do her.
Did she ask him a question?
I think so.
This one or?
The girl.
The lady, yeah, right there. The lady in the white dress or the white outfit.
Please.
It was like a blouse, I think.
This one.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
All right. I want to step back a little bit just to.
Something to think about.
I mean, I think happiness is a difficult idea to conflate in that sense. I mean,
there are other suicides. They're less likely to kill themselves. Forget all these happiness indexes. If you kill yourself, you're not happy, right? So these poor countries do not have male suicide problems. Why?
Person. I take it that you accept evolution.
It depends what you mean by that.
Do you think we've evolved from primates?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I do believe in the biblical account of creation. I also acknowledge that there is an abundance of scientific research that shows adaptation. Species change is heavily inferred in the data. I don't know enough about it, but I believe the scriptures to be true. And you can be a theist and also believe in God-ushered evolution.
Yeah, I completely
agree. And so, of which I allow people much smarter than me to make determinations on that. It's completely irrelevant to my core theology, though.
Okay. Are you happy for me to proceed with the question, though, on that basis?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah.
No, that's fine. So you're kind of vaguely...
What's that?
No,
did you say that or did you... Okay.
I think you guys turn it too loud.
Maybe evolution is true. I hope that that's the case. I mean,
I don't believe that. I think that I'm not saying you said happy that evolution is true.
I'm not necessarily happy, but
that was the word you used, though, right?
Okay, fine. Willing to accept that based on the evidence, evolution is a fact.
No, I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm actually, again, I say I'm open to have my mind moved, and I look at the data, but I believe, given the abundance of equal data that atheists must reckon with, that there is a fine-tuning problem to our existence that I believe warrants that there is a God, intelligent life came from a God, and I believe the scriptures to be true. That in the creation account, there is an allowance to say that God created the heavens and the earth and allowed us to either evolve through species. I happen to believe, through a faith claim, that human beings are designed. What that means is designed over a long period of time or designed immediately. That's for people smarter than me to determine.
Fine. I suppose what I'm getting at is if you believe in the sanctity of life and that there is something fundamentally different between the life of, say, for instance, a human being and the life of an animal, does that not make that claim slightly arbitrary? What is personhood based in, if not? So do you see what I'm getting at?
Sort of. The scriptures say, though, that God created humans, male and female distinct. They're the only ones in Genesis 1:26, 1:27 to made in the image of God.
Right,
and
exactly.
So he called animals good, but they are not image bearers.
Okay,
but that word create is barach in Hebrew, and it's not clear whether or not that is created in an instant over a long period of time. And we as believers, I find no contradiction into saying that God could have created an instant, of which I would be pleased. I'll ask God when I get to heaven how this all unfolded. Or was it a process of adaptation and species change? Very smart Christians are on both sides of this issue. And so there's what we call in Christianity closed-hand theological issues and open-hand theological issues. Closed-hand issues would be like the resurrection of Christ, the Trinity, and then there's open-handed, which would be like eschatology or the Eucharist or the creation account. This one allows, given the verbiage, it could be either way.
Fine. I think just, I don't want to take up too much time then, but just kind of on that, you were talking a little bit about Christian values, and I'm intrigued by that. I get the sense that you're very much motivated by your faith. To what extent do you think Donald Trump embodies gospel values?
Yeah, so he reminds me very much of Samson in the Bible. Both had, you can laugh. How many of you guys actually know about Samson? Great hair. He was a man willing to fight for a cause greater than he, despite some of his own moral troublings and moral missteps. All throughout the Bible, from
You mean the 34 charges? Right. A few moral troubles.
Yeah.
Just a few.
King David to others, there are plenty of Abraham. Moses murdered somebody. How many people know that? Moses murdered somebody. How dare you? You could say a lot. Donald Trump has never murdered anybody. But Moses is like the most revered man in Judaism. Yeah, he was a murderer in Egypt. He took someone aside and just slammed him in the head and actually had to flee all the way to Midian because of it. We're all flawed. We all have original sin.
So
how do I reconcile what is
that comparison?
Well, for instance,
Like,
I mean, gospel values
so
to me
it's
would be,
okay.
you know, humility, compassion, forgiveness.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Well, no, I mean that comparison, like to say it's okay to murder. Basically,
Yeah, he
was
basically just called it a flaw.
Yeah, it's
A
just
flaw.
a flaw. I mean, he shouldn't be punished for that.
And he right now he's supporting everything that Israel's doing.
Yeah.
Wait,
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. I thought you were talking about
Does
Moses.
he live according
Nah.
Okay.
Are you talking about Moses?
No. All right, go ahead now. You can play the video. That's it. You didn't just get a comparison.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're good.
All right.
into those values, do you think?
Okay, sorry.
I actually, at times, I will say, he's far more magnanimous than people will give him credit. None of us are able to fill all those values. I will say some values that I think he does fulfill. He is a truth teller. And the gospel says very clearly that,
teller, is that what he just said?
Telling of the truth is one of the most fundamental things, the spoken word. So I'm not going to spend time here defining every moral decision that Donald Trump has made or not made. I am equally a sinner as Donald Trump. We all fall short of the glory of God. But I will say that his willingness to rise to the occasion.
That's what he loves, though. He loves Donald Trump. He loves Israel. He's on the wrong side of history right now. He's a bad guy.
So he's praising Donald Trump because his views on Israel and his stance on Israel.
He's pro-Israel all the way.
Right. Basically, he just said that he can overlook all of his moral flaws, as he called them, even if he was a murderer.
Values, right? And just consider him a flaw, right?
Yeah, no. He said that he can overlook all of his flaws, all of Trump's flaws, because he has a biblical value of being a truth teller, which is bullshit because he's not a truth teller at all.
That's what I said. Are we been like paying attention to the same Trump? Do we know the same Trump? Is there like
every time Donald Trump goes back on their word, the Republicans are like, well, he did it because of this. Yeah. They always have an excuse for everything.
Yeah,
that is true. They do. Oh man, this is
horrible.
Like this is like I don't know. That's actually a pretty crazy video.
Told you.
Yeah. Oh, let me keep going.
Greater than he to endure being shot and almost shot again and almost 700 years in federal prison is one of the most courageous actions I've ever seen from a public elected official in the history of the West.
Do you think Jesus?
Because the bullet grazed his ear.
Oh man.
That doesn't make him courageous. He didn't like go to war or something. Like somebody shot at him. That doesn't make him courageous.
He was hiding behind. So hold on, real quick. So. Me and the cousin were talking earlier. Basically, he was behind this huge bulletproof glass today. Like, if he was actually like, if he was a true leader, he wouldn't have to be afraid of the people here. Like, is he really that scared?
He's becoming
he's a coward. He was like he knows that the tides are changing. Like his people are not liking like what he's pushing. There's going to be pushback against the agenda that they're trying to put into action.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They want to back up Israel. But we can't do that.
Yeah, if they make, I don't know. If we make the agreement, that we'll support that. Yeah. All right, let's keep watching the video. We got off topic. Yeah. All right, we'll finish the video.
Yeah, it's just a few more minutes, I think.
Would have voted for Trump?
Do I think Jesus, well, first of all, Jesus intentionally didn't vote and did not care about the Roman guard. You remember he said, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar, render unto God's what is God. Do I think Jesus would love some of the stuff that Trump is doing?
It's a silly question, but I'm just,
No, I mean, fine. It's like, what did Jesus teach us? Jesus says, don't touch children. Okay, so he would love the fact that Donald Trump repealed Roe versus Wade. He would love the fact that child sex trafficking is being focused on in this current government. Jesus Christ said a lot of things such as, sin no more, and things such as love your neighbor are things that we should embody in every single one of our public policy decisions.
How's your killing Roe versus Wade
Jesus
have
is divine.
anything to do with that? It's like,
and what about everyone else?
Like, how does that make him godly by repealing?
That's
I don't
Charlie
know.
Kirk has a weird. How was Charlie Kirk raised, AJ?
I don't really know, but I mean, apparently it's like a very extreme
Spoiled
type
brat.
of Christianity. Well, yeah, I'm sure. But see, yeah, what he just said, he's like that Jesus told us not to touch children. Was that what he said? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so Trump repeal Roe v. Wade, which
Yeah,
is
but how does that have anything to do with touching children? I mean, does he mean like killing the baby, like touching a child's life,
Yes.
like terminating them in the womb?
Yeah. I think by touching children, he meant like don't fuck with children,
Okay.
like don't mess with them in any way. And so, but when it comes to very extreme Christian denominations or Catholics are especially very, very anti-abortion because they claim that life begins at conception, which is actually not even within biblical scripture. Okay, if you look at the scripture, what it says is that life begins at first breath, and therefore, if we go by the scripture, then life begins at birth. All right. But so the problem here is that most of these religious laws that try to repeal, that try to ban abortion, claim that a fetus is a life of equal value to somebody who's already born. And while I understand that as somebody who's been pregnant before, and from the moment that I found out that I was pregnant, I valued that life just as I would value my own. But I value my child's life now that they're alive, right? But how do I put this? You can't expect. Okay, here's a good argument for it. Could I ask you to give me your life for 9 months? Like, I could ask you, right? And you will be like, yeah, sure. But could I do that forcibly? Like, could I force you to not do anything for 9 months, to sit next to me, to go wherever I want to go? Like, let's say our bodies have to be connected, like, I don't know, draining blood from your body into mine, whatever, futuristic type of system that will connect us. And, I will like forcibly take your life for all of these months. Like, you will find that to be illegal, right? Like, do you agree that should not be legal?
Should be allowed to make you like human centipede, right? I mean, think about that. No, she doesn't like that movie. Yeah. So no, I use the reference of the human centipede because he loves that movie.
No.
So I totally
Oh Lord, no! Please don't, don't
So
remind
I
me
told
of
you
that.
it's similar like that. So you'd have to be part of the human centipede experience.
But
so, yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
it's
that
true
is a
though.
good
It's true.
example. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good example because they were forced to do that.
I do.
Because
Yeah, no,
so
it's.
I
I think
mean,
again,
like, okay, so that explained it. The centipede, the human centipede explained it.
that's all I had to tell him.
But
I
how
don't
does that
understand
relate? How does that relate to what we were talking about? I told him.
Okay,
I told Joe he
so
made a.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I got off topic, I guess.
I told Joe he made a worse joke than what Charlie Kirk said.
Did I? Oh, I'm
Worse
sorry.
argument.
I probably did. Yeah, don't quote me on that.
yeah,
Man.
that was pretty bad. But anyways,
Like,
to the point.
why are you pointing it out, man? Making me look bad.
What I'm trying to say is that an already born adult or child human being cannot force another human being, kind of like kidnapping, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the same applies to a pregnant woman. If the pregnant woman does not want to support that life that is growing inside of her, she should not be forced to. All right.
Yeah.
There was a case in Alabama recently where a pregnant woman died. Like she got hurt. I can't remember exactly how she got hurt. Uh, but basically she ended up with brain death. Like she's legally dead, but they're keeping her alive with machines, and her family did not want that. But the
To be
reason
able to
they're
have her have the baby, she was wait,
right,
how far
she
along
was
was she
like
in the pregnancy?
she
Do you
was
know that?
like 20 something weeks, like
Okay.
20 weeks or something like that. But it's before the baby can survive outside of the body, and therefore the the state is ordering that she be kept alive. Alive. That's not even, she's not alive. She's just like on life support. Like
Yeah, you're just a vegetable.
she's
Yeah.
not there, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, pretty much it's a dead body being used as an incubator against the family's wishes. And the reason they're doing this is because of the abortion bans that were put in place by
Oh
this very
wow! So
extreme
they're having to do that to save the baby's life.
yeah, because they can't
I mean,
kill
legally
the
terminate the
fetus.
fetus.
Yeah,
Wow, that's wild. That's crazy.
it is, and it's completely like unimaginable. Like imagine, like, and the family is being forced to pay for the hospital stay too. It's like insane. Like these type of legislations um, that are fucking up with abortion rights is insane. I mean, and it's taking away
Yeah,
like bodily
I didn't know
autonomy
about that. That's
from real human
what
beings.
state?
Yeah,
What state was that in? That they're doing that? What state is that? Did you say?
I think it was Alabama.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. So what this guy is saying, what Charlie Kirk was just saying, that Jesus says to protect children, and therefore Trump repealing Roe v. Wade, which is
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand it
the
now.
the
He's
woman.
protecting
So
the fetus.
yeah.
Yeah, he's giving the
So
fetus life.
he's
Basically.
like what cousin just said. Yeah, it's crazy that they're not thinking about everybody else. They're just thinking about their own theology, like their own scripture belief in the Bible, and going by what that says, which is 2,000 years old, and putting that to manage modern society.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's where we
like
get to the argument where we say, I mean, you need to have separation of religious
yeah,
from the
that's why
policies,
yeah.
the policies that that govern our population.
Because
Um,
if you want to believe in that, if you want to believe in that scriptural rules and in Mosaic laws and all of that, that's fine. You can put that to work in your house, but don't bring that into everybody else's houses.
and
That's when
don't
it's a
force it
problem.
upon everybody. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I came to the realization yesterday that, like, I don't. It's gotten to the point where it's so bad that I don't consider myself religious anymore. But I also don't consider myself atheist either. I just,
You just kind of in
just
that limbo.
I really
You
hate it
know,
when everybody
there's
argues.
there's
Yeah.
actually a label for that, and it's called agnostic, which means
Yeah.
that you basically you're not saying, "Hey, I don't have it." Like if you're an atheist, you say all you're saying is, "I don't have enough evidence to believe that any God exists." That's how I feel.
Yeah,
But when you're agnostic, you're basically saying, maybe I don't have enough evidence to know that a God does exist or that a God doesn't exist. So it's kind of like you're in the middle.
yeah, no, yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah. Religion should not be in politics because of what's going on with Iran and Israel. It's the
Yeah.
perfect example of why.
Like we talked earlier, it's okay. Like I completely support people that want to follow religion. It's cool. Like if you believe this is the thing that happens, this is your after you pass this life, that's your own perspective, and I respect that.
But they're affecting
Yeah,
everybody,
but respect what I believe happens after we die as well. I mean, everybody needs to be respectful of each other's belief, and you don't try to force that into like the governing style of the society because it just causes division.
But the way how Israel's been acting, they already crossed every red line. We're
Yeah.
far too gone now.
I don't know if we
We're
can
far
ever
too gone.
get religion out of politics anymore. Just the way that,
man.
well, I guess religion has always been in politics. Religion was there before politics, I would assume.
Well,
Now I'm really thinking too deep.
the history with Israel is a little bit different because religion has been part of their identity, like a part of their government identity for thousands of years, for like 2,000 years, right? It's not something new for them. I think for the
Yeah.
US, even though many of the presidents have been Christians, they haven't been Christian nationalists, and so they haven't like poured the religion into their political decisions to the extent that Trump has.
Tell
So
AJ put Pete events.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
about what?
He's trying. I don't know. He
No.
he threw me for a loop because
No.
like he went completely to a different topic, saying
Oh,
for me
okay.
to, I don't know, to mention about who Trump had decided again at the parade.
Pete, that guy is
Pete Hexworth,
guy's
if I'm saying it properly.
huge, like Teller, huge, like very.
Oh, he's a big
religious.
Christian nationalist. I mean,
Very.
I mean, you've seen it. We've had shows before talking about his tattoos and the meanings of his tattoos.
Oh, you're talking about Pete Hegseth?
Yeah. We were talking about how having him sitting beside Trump today and showing the military might and showing all the like playing all these like godly type music
Viking.
that it was showing, that I don't know. I think it was showing Christian nationalism at its finest. I mean, like showing that that's in power. Everybody knows like how much he is connected to that like that whole mindset, and people follow him because of that.
And he's one of the reasons he wants a holy war.
He wants to be leading it too, right?
Along with
Yeah.
There are all these other people.
I think maybe he wants to be able to show like his military power to other countries, and like to show that he can.
Yeah.
Everybody even knows too.
He's got it. He's running to the door. I don't know. We ordered Taco Bell.
What? Did you?
I got you crispy chicken cantina taco, but I don't know. You might not eat it because I know it's chicken.
Yeah.
If you are hungry, I will
I
tell
wish you
you.
told me. I would have ordered a bowl.
Oh, dude! All right, order a bowl. All right, we're gonna order you a bowl.
Oh, it's okay. It's all
You
right.
sure? All right. She said it's okay.
Don't worry about it.
You knock on the door.
No, just turn the porch light on. Sorry. I know this is just like
Yeah, just put it aside, you guys. Yeah. So shall we
so we can go back on topic. Sorry about that, everybody. We're getting sidetracked.
is it Taco Bell? Is that Pam Bondi?
Oh man, Pam Bondi.
Look at the trees. You don't have Taco Bell over there?
The what?
It's like a fake Mexican food.
I mean, we had some great Mexican food earlier, but I still have sopapillas from that. Hey, you good? Yeah, just set it
Yeah,
right
I'm
here.
surprised you order more Mexican food.
Hey, that's what the cousin wanted. The cousin said, "Hey, let's order Taco Bell."
No, I didn't. I said Hat Creek.
And you said Hat Creek.
Yeah.
Now he's changing it up.
Nah, I said Hat Creek. But you told me they were
All right.
close.
Yeah, I know. All right. So let's finish the video, huh?
Yeah. Let me just write my
Yeah, I want to hear what else he's got to.
And you would not fill out a ballot.
All right, thank you
Thank
for
you.
answering my questions.
I wanted to take you back on South Africa. You did talk about South Africa, and obviously the Expropriation Act of 2024 is kind of a really big issue. I think to start off from the outset, I should mention that I also don't agree about the more terrible slogans. Cue the boards. Obviously, I think is terrible. But I think it's good to have context where the Expropriation Act is coming from. And I think drilling down a little bit, I want to pick your thoughts based on the fact that.
So was this one also about Trump, or is this like a whole different
I
topic?
don't think it is.
No.
Yeah, we don't have to watch the rest of it. Yeah,
No.
I just wanted to finish the one we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch. I'll definitely watch that for sure. Yeah, that he said something interesting earlier, and Charlie Kirk at the beginning of that question from that same lady that was talking about Trump, and he said that when they were talking about evolution, and he said, well, that he believes in creation, but that he doesn't necessarily know whether it was instant creation or like something that where God created humans over time. However, if he had paid attention to the scripture again, which he didn't know earlier, but as I mentioned, he would know that the account of creation in Genesis says that the creation was definitely like an instant creation, because he says he creates men from dirt and that he creates woman from one woman from the man's rib. So that's right. There is to me it's pretty clear that the Bible is saying that humans were created in a day, pretty much, right? So yeah, it sounds like Charlie Kirk doesn't even know the Bible or what he believes, and yeah. But the fact that he's supporting both Trump
Wow.
and the whole Israel stuff is just sick, man.
He's just pushing an agenda. That's what all of them are doing.
Tell her what Elon Musk is trying to do with AI.
Trying to do with
Oh,
what?
well, yeah, we went on a whole
Multiple rants.
yeah, we were just
Oh, yeah.
like, we were
Yeah, let's
theorizing
go.
about this is like a rabbit hole shit, but I guess we
That
can
is
discuss
very
it.
possible.
I mean, there's no
Very
truth to any of
possible.
this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make that advisory. So we said, how Elon Musk had control of like all the documents pretty much through like all of our departments. So they have like this huge. What if he like took all this information and he feeds it into his AI system? Like, what could they do with that type of power?
Pause.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to pause this conversation. The protest in Denver is not peaceful anymore.
Oh no. The protests in Denver. What happened? Can you tell us?
My friend just told me it didn't stay peaceful.
That's not good. So I wonder what happened. I guess we'll find out.
Man.
There was
Well,
probably some.
I think the thing is that all of these protests started non-violent, and when sometimes when people are told, hey, it's time to leave, there are groups that don't want to leave, and they want to stick around and cause more trouble, and
Payback.
so yeah. Yeah, they want to
Yeah,
push
those are the
back. They
people
want to push
that
back
have.
harder. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are the people that we talked about earlier that have the viewpoint of that being the solution. So I mean, yeah. So
Yeah, so back to
yeah,
Elon. Okay, tell me what you were talking about, Elon. So look at
yeah,
the
you
truth,
know,
say
we were
that
saying,
Elon
so
stole everything.
what if he feeds all that information to to his AI system, and they use that for, I mean, that's a huge amount of power. I mean, it knows, like, if it knows your medical history, like what type of medications you're on, who your relatives are, if if you suffer any type of mental illness, where you work at, what type of like things you like based on like I mean, I don't know. It's just a crazy thought. Like, you feed all that into a system. Like, what type of power does that get to? That. What do you think?
Yeah,
What were you
that's
saying?
very true.
What did he
But
tell me? Hold on. I think I forgot something about what we
Yeah,
were
you
discussing
forgot.
earlier. Go ahead.
How AI reacts AI, Bob, or
Oh yeah, we were talking to Chat GPT,
Yeah.
and I have, like, you can do voice chat with Chat GPT, and he's like a little personal assistant. And he was making fun
yeah.
of me. He was like, "That's your buddy," and I was like, "Yeah, we're cool like that." Because like I turned it on, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he responds back to you. But then we started asking it like some really deep like questions about if we thought that it could come up with an answer for, I guess,
human salvation.
for humans to be able to consolidate with each other and learn how to get along without like wanting to fight and still have different religious views. And then it came back with like a really simple answer. Like, we went really deep with it, and it was just like, I don't remember what it said, but it was just like a short sentence back. Ash was sitting there with us, and we were all laughing because it was
Pretty
just
sure
like,
he recorded it.
Yeah, but see, AI kind of like molds itself to whatever you feed into it, like however you talk to it. Like mine is definitely an atheist. By the way, it answers my questions. So yeah.
no, she's saying her Chat GPT, the way that, like, based on the things that she's asked it and discussed and researched with it, it does build like a.
Trust.
It's
Yeah,
not, well, not a trust. I mean, I hope it's not trusting you, man. That means it's become aware now.
but it's
So
but it's because I'm always using it for like to come up with things related to my channel or
yeah,
like research that I'm doing and stuff like
it
that. So
knows like
yeah.
it knows like me with my news stuff. Like, when I ask it something, it'll talk about that. So yeah, I mean, it definitely learns you. Like, well, I guess whatever
Yeah.
model you're working with. Yeah, AI is a whole different. I think we've had a show about AI. We should probably do another one because that's like a whole different discussion, which is pretty cool to dive into.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop blabbing now. So, I mean, it's been this weekend's been kind of crazy, right?
Whole week.
The whole week's been kind of crazy.
He's messing with countries across seas, creating hate. He's ruining the economy. He's doing everything he said he wouldn't do.
Are you sure? I thought he's doing everything he said he would do.
Yeah, but he said he's gonna come up with deals. Who cares about the deals if we all go to war? Everybody's gonna break the deal, right?
Yeah, that is true.
It's for so he doesn't do anything there. He's going back on what he said about immigration, where now he needs farmers, hotels, and I'm about 20 miles out of Denver. I will have to check after this. Yeah, Dandy, something. The one in Colorado is not peaceful anymore. The protests. I had a source straight from Colorado. Sorry guys, I'll stop blabbing.
Yeah, I mean, I figure some of them will turn a little bit.
Yeah, you're always gonna have that. I mean,
Like there were so many, and probably like a total of millions of people. So you can expect there to be a few. That's the battle line.
But do you think Fox News is going to use that to their advantage? That one clip?
like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
all the
of
conservative media
course.
will play. They'll play those
They're
clips,
gonna
like,
they're gonna take like those very few clips and be like, This woke left is destroying the country.
Look at this. And that was played on replay. Like, what's up? Fern's here.
I love Denver. I love Colorado, man. I love it.
Colorado's beautiful. I
Very.
like Colorado too.
Very.
If I had to choose another state other than Texas to move to, Colorado's on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Over past Seattle? Come on, say it.
Seattle's at the top, man, but the cost of living is so expensive.
Too expensive in Seattle, right? So Colorado's more doable.
Is it? I've heard it's quite expensive in
Okay.
Colorado as well. How's the cost of living in Colorado?
It's expensive too.
I think
Look
it
at
is.
this. This was, hold on. See if I can show this.
Is that Denver? Where is that?
Sorry, my screen is just being weird.
Okay.
This one's in. Can you see it, or is it too small?
Yeah, it's there. No, we'll
Very
go back.
small.
Go back. Hold on. It was larger.
It was like weird. There we
Better
go.
second. Yeah.
Okay, so this was in Seattle. They say about 80,000 people.
Wow, that's amazing. I wonder which city had the largest turnout. Like, I need to look up that.
Let's search it up. Yeah.
I know. I was wondering the same thing. A friend of mine posted that one. Let me see if I can. Let's see. This one is in Dallas.
Dallas had a bigger turnout than us.
Dallas showed up.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty big. That's a lot of
I
people.
know, but I kind of want to see the overhead footage of the march today, though, here, because
Yeah, I'm sure there will be some.
it's still for a while,
I mean,
and
if
it
you look
wrapped
them up-
all back around, like the front met the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one, Minneapolis.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
You know, our friend Joe Scott Dickey, he was there. He was at that
Wow.
one.
Wow.
Yeah, he lives in Minneapolis. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's pretty cool. That's a lot of people.
It is.
Yes.
That's
Now I'm
great.
curious.
1,000 people.
1,000 people.
Man,
Man.
you're driving me crazy.
Drive me crazy.
I'm looking real quick to see if I can find like a video from the Houston one, like a, over.
Ooh, that's
Right.
right. What's it smell like? Smell it.
You know, thing. Sorry, hey, we passed him again.
Now that she's looking for Houston footage.
Oh
I
yeah,
need
I
to-
was trying to see if I could find one like from the
March.
drones
What is it?
that we were seeing.
Well, I would say look for like channel 13, like maybe ABC 13. They had their helicopter over us. I saw it, like the side of it.
Oh, I'm on the news now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Who found it?
My dad said I was on the 10 o'clock news.
On Telemundo?
Yeah.
Sammy was on Telemundo.
That's crazy, huh? What did I search?
Oh, was it? Yeah, Telemundo 45. Just go to their website.
Did you were you on it? Like,
I don't know.
Wait,
He
what's-
just
was it
got
on the
told
night
me.
news?
It might have been on their
Research
live
it,
broadcast.
research
So
it.
it might have been on their live
So I'm
broadcast.
looking at my history.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the other one, but I can't.
I don't see it.
I thought we will have a lot more news media showing the protest from earlier.
I guess I need to upload all my footage.
Yeah.
It's not out there, so people can find it. There you go.
I know we're gonna have to pull that up and show it on my channel next time.
Oh, the video, the footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Univision or Telemundo?
I think it was Telemundo. I think you're on the wrong channel.
So
it was
where do I go from
Telemundo.
here?
Let me see. Just go to the local.
Oh, no, en vivo, right? Live?
No, okay. Yeah. But they might not. I don't think they're live anymore. So no.
So what?
Just say look for the article.
News?
Yeah.
Inicia el toque de queda en los.
I could actually get a.
Yeah, let me out, cuz. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh man, Trump. Are you still looking for it, or what are you
Yeah.
looking for?
She is.
Because I could probably upload I could attach my SD card and I could put some of the video on here for people to watch. Yeah.
Oh, right now or
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'll just make a video and upload it. Cause yeah, I probably need to go through it and see everything I have on there. It's a lot of raw footage.
yeah, I see some of the videos from Telemundo.
Yeah, he's looking for the video where he got interviewed. Was that it right there? Look, right there. Go back up. No, that's not you. That was you.
That's 7 minutes.
Look at it. Watch it. Then.
Oh,
Sure, I hope my Spanish was good.
No, you sounded good.
Right?
Yeah. I recorded you too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, send me this stuff.
Yeah. It's on my camera.
I'll be honest, guys. For the people watching, I'm kind of nervous to like express my beliefs on my Instagram. I am nervous.
No, I mean that's
I'm
okay to feel
What do
that
you-
way.
like your personal one or your fishing channel stuff?
My Instagram. So
Just
that's
your personal Instagram. Huh?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
not your personal.
but that's for the fishing.
Oh,
I
is it
just
catching
fishing,
monsters?
Just fishing, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you had a personal account and that.
No.
Okay.
Should I do it? I want to.
Why? So why are you scared? Like, do you think that, like, do you have a lot of friends that you don't think agree with?
I have a lot of Republicans around my circle right now on every freaking base. Friends, coworkers, family, everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
But, like y'all are yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. You know, people were you're worried about how people are going to respond and react to you. Like, they see you differently now that they know this about your political views or your political standpoint. But we have to not be afraid to let our positions be known. I mean, they let their positions be out there in the open. Why should we hide from our views? I mean, you got to show resistance.
I do.
yeah. No, I think
Once you give me
when
the picture.
you
Okay, that's some really good footage.
yeah, I think that when you actually show yourself as who you really are, that's when you're gonna attract the kind of people that truly support
Like what you do in
who
your
you are,
cause. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just your cause, but you as a person. Like,
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
attract people
Yeah.
with similar values.
So I'm going to have a liberal fishing channel.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are some conservative.
Maybe.
You can't.
I don't think
You
so.
can't-
I don't think so, man.
No, you have.
Well, no, I wasn't
Right.
necessarily talking about like your fishing channel, but like you say your Instagram and stuff like that. You know, like your personal circle.
I think that you
I'm
can.
gonna show you how many.
You can still be friends with some people depending on their views.
2,000.
But I
It's a
mean,
big number.
there's some viewpoints that people hold that you can't look past.
Like this,
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Like so. Are you posting something?
I don't know. It's a hard choice too. So, but I run a large news social media site, but I don't ever post any political content at all. Like, I stay away from that, because I feel like sometimes people want to have a news source to be able to see what's going on, but they don't want to like have to deal with like with politics. But is that wrong of me to like shield people from like political stuff? And I don't post political stuff out of fear that I think I'll lose some subscribers too. So I kind of have that same fear that
Right.
you just mentioned.
Right.
Well, I think in the case of the type of news media that you run, is not inherently political. So
Yeah,
like
I try to be
so that because it's more like local news and things that like events that happen around the city. Like if you
correct.
cover the protests, you don't necessarily need to be like covering it from an angle of supporting
But I
it, but
kind of
rather
hate that
cover it
I
in an
kind of hate
angle of
that
something
I
that
can't
happened in the
post that
city.
content. Like I want to be able to post that content, so it makes me think like, should I start like a separate
Left wing.
like um, media media, you know, well, a different content outlet for that type of media, because like I do want to be able to present that, but I think I do need to keep them separate. I don't know. I can use this channel, Cognitive Echo. I mean, I could post more political stuff on this outlet. I don't know if people
Yeah.
would be interested in that, but I definitely could.
So should I create a new Instagram? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But then I'm not gonna have
Yeah, I
everybody.
mean,
You just regrow it.
What?
do you know that
You can do a shout out for it, like on your content, and be like, hey, these people do like this, but you don't want, you know.
But they're still gonna see what that stands for.
Yeah, but
you know?
they can still watch your other content and not have to like. They can just associate that. Maybe, I don't know.
But I would lose supporters.
You would probably
for
still
sure,
lose some supporters. Yeah. I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, I guess you do have to like cut off some people that maybe
Mm.
follow extreme views.
I'm gonna fucking do
Where's
it.
the line?
Seven.
Like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, cause like so much is going on right now, and fudge, man, it's bad. Like I don't care about anybody. I don't. At the end of the day, what I care about is me and my kids. I don't have kids, right? But if I want to have kids and
future
take
kids, yeah, future
when
family.
when
yeah.
I'm 30 years old, I want to have kids. The way things are going, we're not gonna get to that point. And if it does, life is gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
well, I feel a little bit different. I wouldn't say that I don't care about anybody. I care about people, and that's why I do stuff like this. You know, like I care about defending other women and trans people, and you know, no. But I'm saying that,
But I think he does
Yeah,
realize
it's
that
not.
he explained it incorrectly, because
Yeah.
I kind of see what he was
Yeah.
coming for, but
Right.
it sounded
but
yeah.
the way you described it, that you care about the future of your future kids, that
You
leads me to
contradicted
believe
yourself.
that you do care about others, you know.
Look, yeah, I care about what I meant to say is that I don't care about like us, the present. I care about the future generations.
Oh, okay.
That's
that
why
makes
that's why I
sense.
said
Okay.
kids. I put it in my
Yeah,
situation,
yeah.
but I meant that as a whole.
But to care about
But-
future generations,
Yeah.
you have to care about yourself now, because if you don't care about the
Yeah.
things that affect you now, then that means.
Well,
I guess
that-
it means if you
that-
care about the things that affect the future generations, you do care about it now, because your actions are going to affect that.
Yeah, but
the
that's
outcome.
that's the problem with the Republican Party. They don't wanna admit it.
But the fact that you care about the future generations means that you do care about people, and I think you do
Yeah.
care about
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens today.
Yeah.
You
Look at
know.
the trees, like, what's more important to you, subs or genuine integrity?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I came to the
Sure.
realization. I've been having some deep talks about politics with somebody, and
With somebody other than me? No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
She's inspiring me to be vocal.
It's good. It's
And
cool.
I was like, man, I've been so pissed, but I've been neutral because I don't want conflict. But
You're
it's
afraid of conflict.
I'm so scared of conflict. I'm willing to create conflict within like family,
To
friends,
overlook your own
Because-
values, right?
because the world's gonna end. Israel officially asked for support from the U.S. China already told Israel, "Hey, you have crossed every red line." Right?
They did say that.
Gosh.
They did say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it
But
makes you
listen-
wonder where this could all lead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know where this can lead. What are you saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, now I kind of forgot, because he showed me a
He said
picture.
that
He showed me a
Oh.
picture that showed me off of the sign today of Putin and Trump. He like zoomed in on Trump's ass, and it's just like,
yeah, it was pretty terrible. It was pretty terrible. I was gonna show it on the stream, but then I looked at the details, and I'm not sure if we can do that because it
Yeah,
might be against the YouTube.
I think we'll get banned if we show it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You can
Ah,
probably
man.
describe it. You can
Thanks for
describe
putting
it.
up with our just banter and sometimes off topic shenanigans. But yeah, I mean, it is a serious conversation, everybody, and I mean sometimes I mean it's I guess you gotta laugh every now and then because it's just like, is this reality? Is this like really happening? Is
If
this
you
really
don't
what we
laugh, you're
are?
gonna cry.
I think are we at a point in time, like there was a picture today that I have like instilled in my head of from the Trump parade of him just like standing there in front of these bullet glass like windows with the tanks right there, and he has all these military officials next to him. And I just thought to myself, like that image right there is going to be in history books. Like we just witnessed history. It's like that's like a moment in time that happened that it's just going to be like that was the
And
moment.
it's not
Like
good.
that was the moment. Like you're like that's where I always remember like where it started. Like that's like that to me. That's like where like
Yeah.
it just really hit the fan. Like it made me realize like fuck, we're kind of fucked right now.
Very.
Excuse my language.
Very.
Yeah, it's like
So
oh man.
this was my sign for the protest. Like silence is the enemy. And I'm gonna go in a little bit of a rant here, but when I have discussions with people on my channel, usually one of the things we talk about is the way that they deconstructed from their religious indoctrination, and a lot of them generally go through that journey over a long period of time. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not like they wake up one day and they're like, hey, I'm no longer religious, I'm no longer believing this. It's just something that happens from having conversations and from realizing things. And there's always this little bit of time at the end before they say, I no longer believe, where they're holding on to comfort. And it's usually like, like, I don't know, things like, well, I don't want to feel like I'll never see my family again. Like I want to believe in the afterlife because of that comfort of thinking that I will forever be with my family. And I think that what you were just talking about, other cousin, regarding whether to speak up on your channel, or to your family, is kind of a very similar thing. Right? Like you were sitting, you were staying quiet, you weren't speaking up, and you were in a comfortable place. Good health. See, I don't
I
say
got it.
bless you.
I got it. I told him to.
Anyways,
That's what you talking to me, man. I don't need to talk. Take a break. I'll be back in 10.
All right, that's good. You're gonna go eat.
Nah, let her finish her topic.
I know you just cut her off.
You did.
oh yeah,
Right.
I'll be quick. So what you're going through is basically you're deconstructing, not from religion, well, maybe from religion, but you're deconstructing from your previous political stances, like where you were comfortable with not doing anything and not speaking up, and now you're like, hey, that's not the right way to handle this. Like, this isn't a time to
And just
sit
stand
down
by it.
and be comfortable. Like, you're gonna have to stand up and you're gonna have to be uncomfortable for a little bit. All right, and some of the people around you might not agree with the things that you say,
But
or so
I'm scared of that though. That's
I don't
yeah,
know.
it is, yeah.
Like
But like I say, you don't have to do it overnight. It's not something you
Yeah.
have to do overnight.
Like I feel like my family accepts my viewpoints now. It does cause some clashes, but I mean, it's like it's respect. Like I can still respect family members that are religious as long as they don't try to push that agenda on me and my freedoms. I mean, I don't know.
I get that respect, and I'm for it, but Did we end up all dying from nukes?
Yeah, well, that's like a whole other level. Like you're talking about just like the world ending due to war. I mean,
Because if China steps in, the U.S. steps in. You know, there's gonna be an all-out
Yeah.
war.
so you're more worried about like what worries you what worries you more about like a
This-
global war? Like
exactly.
that's a concern for you.
That's
like
my
death
biggest.
from a global war and not being able to have like a future, like having a child and a family and experiencing that.
Yeah, I want.
Okay.
Have,
Yeah, I mean, we have had 2 world wars already, and so I would say, unfortunately, with modern technology, a third world war will be a lot more destructive in that sense. I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world. I think it's gonna be the end of some countries.
I think it's gonna be
No.
we're gonna go through some
Um,
stuff. Let's put it that way. I
but
think
it's
civilization is gonna go through some stuff.
yeah,
But
it's
like,
gonna change. It's gonna
yeah,
change the way the world operates, and
But
like it's gonna wipe out quite a few people, like
so you
countries
think,
and
you think people will
areas.
survive like a nuke war?
some people will survive.
Well,
I mean, there's underground bunkers
yeah,
To the rich,
like the
though.
rich
Yeah.
have.
Top percent
So
only,
there will be repopulation. I feel.
and they're
Yeah.
gonna do the same thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Right? It's like
I mean, it is gonna be some kind of zombie movie type of shit, but probably.
Hey Dan, thanks for watching and hanging out with us. Like I said, we just been rambling all night, but it's been fun. Everyone that's hung out, so definitely thanks for coming in. Well, thanks for hanging
Yeah,
out.
thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we see you on some more. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to watch the world burning around you and not being like feeling like whatever you're doing is not enough. Um, I'm not really sure what the people can do, even if we went, look at the trees method and like riots and stuff in the U.S. I don't think that's gonna stop what's going on in Israel and Iran. Like we destroy your country, but like that's not gonna change what's happening over there because they're at the point where they're already on the way to World War III. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that they've crossed that threshold to where like even some type of intervention like from other countries like powers like we talked about earlier, like if China like came at Iran, tell them, hey, calm down, and US came at Israel, say, hey, calm down. Will that even stop at this time? Have we crossed that threshold to where there is no return, that this action has already like it's been set in motion,
Tension. Yeah, there's so much tension already that is just,
yeah. I haven't,
unfortunately.
we've been watching. Definitely gonna be watching here shortly after this, to see what's going on right now, because I'm sure that there's been more attacks and more exchange of ballistic missiles this evening, tonight as it's nighttime in Israel. But man, I don't know. I guess hopefully the next time that we're on a live, like we have some better things to talk about. But I mean, it's been
the talk was
look at the
actually
trees. We
informative.
appreciate the conversation that we've had in the chat with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for engaging, hanging out with us. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
Man, it's. I guess I don't know. I have to say it's this type of outlet is good to be able to talk about like what's going on. But it was great being able to be side by side with people with similar viewpoints today. But I love being able to have this stream tonight and just like talk about all this stuff that's going on and everything that happened today and just the events, because people need to stay informed on it. We have to definitely stay informed on the political theater that's occurring these days.
Yeah, man, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Look at the tree said different approaches to the same goals. That's it.
Wow,
That's
that's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So let's see. What do you got next for our channel.
I think
So I think
we
it's
have
next week.
Richard Freer, right?
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm a very bad host, and I haven't rescheduled this one with Jason and Jeff, which is supposed to happen on the 26th, actually. And so they're going to be on our show talking about BahaCon, which is the Blue Water Atheist, Humanist, and Agnostics Convention, which happens in Canada, and it's really freaking awesome. And I know that Seth Andrews, Erica Gibbons, Forrest Valkai are going to be there. Drew McCoy from Genetically Modified Skeptic,
Nice.
he's also going to be there. He's really cool.
Yeah, I wish we could
And
get to visit Canada and check that out one, hopefully sometime. I hope so.
yeah, no, that would be awesome. I'm still hoping we can make it to NanoCon. Hopefully,
We
I don't
will
know.
try.
I'm still working on that. We're trying. Yeah, Seth Andrews is gonna be there as well. I think Forrest. No, wait. I don't know if Forrest is gonna be at that one, but Seth Andrews for sure, and I'm trying to think who is.
So we-
Jubekis. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Secular Rarity, of course. He's the one that runs that thing. So next one is Richard Deliver and Scott Dickey.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's the one that we came up with. That you helped me out to get Richard to say he'll come on the show for if animals have morality or morals. So yeah, that one's gonna be a great discussion. I'm really looking forward to that one. And
yeah, I'm excited about that one.
A chat with Scott Dickey as well. I did see after that you have its neurodivergent perspective, right?
Yeah.
I've been
So they
following
were supposed. They were supposed to be on this past week, but with the protests, they were worried about because they live in an area where Mr. Greg Abbott sent some of the National Guard, and so this person was worried about that there could be like gridlock and stuff, and they live in a moving vehicle sort of set up like a little camper, and so they were gonna go out of town to like try and stay safe. So we kind of rescheduled it. I don't know exactly if that's gonna be the date yet, but we're working on a new date for that.
Well, that should be a good discussion. So the fight to exist authentically. So yeah, that sounds like a great topic.
Yeah, because they are autistic and ADHD, so they also wrote a book for like the workplace, how employers can help neurodivergent employees to feel safer at work and
in a work environment. Yeah, an interesting topic. Yeah.
So it should be a very, very interesting topic.
Did they vote for Trump or Kamala Harris?
No, and you should follow the channel. Lots of great content.
Oh, yeah. If you're not familiar with them, they're like really very angry at Trump. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up their page real quick. Let me share.
Yeah, I follow on Facebook, so I'm not sure what other social medias. I know YouTube, right? But I haven't seen any of their content.
Okay, so they.
Sorry.
Oh wait, I'm trying to find the posts.
You remind me of
Go to videos. Yeah, right there.
You know Marley and Me?
Oh yeah, Marley and Me. Yeah.
Okay.
That reference.
There you go.
Their posts are all very anti-Trump. Like
the president's military parade reportedly cost up to $45 million was short on attendees.
Yeah.
Short on attendees. Cherry on the top.
Over 11 million people showed up for the No King protests.
All together.
That's pretty cool.
Is that just U.S. wide? Like from the States?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all over the
Uh,
US. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So like
Never-
the total count kind of
Good
like,
amount of people. I mean, that's a good start. Like, you got
yeah.
to start somewhere. I mean, it's got me hyped. Hopefully, a lot of other people see it and feel the same way. Decide
Well,
that
look
it's
at
okay to express. Yeah, I saw the image of that. The cousin showed it to me, but I'd seen
That's
it.
pretty
Prior.
cool. Okay, I
Yeah,
hadn't seen that. That's
it's on
awesome.
the beach.
California standing
Alright.
strong. But it got violent. It ended before it should have ended.
Yeah.
That's why they were mad.
Yeah, no, so yeah, no, they're definitely so this person, their name is Lyric. So Lyric used to post a lot about like autism and ADHD and all of that type of stuff. Like that was their main content up until Trump took office. And then now they're like that most of the content that they post about is like the very anti administration, current administration. So yeah, no, like they're
I
definitely very supportive of. Yeah,
support. I look
very
forward to a
cool person.
conversation for sure.
I support Palestine. Free Palestine.
Yeah,
Be sure.
for sure.
What?
Uh,
This is not my YouTube channel, it's yours.
You're gonna get me on a list.
They're gonna get you on the list.
All right. You guys ready to go eat some food and
Yeah, we're gonna eat our Taco Bell, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
putting up
you.
with us this evening. It's been
Yeah.
great. Really, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's having the rest of their Saturday evening. We're almost into
About to be
Sunday,
Sunday.
so be ready to rest.
Crazy, no?
I'm resting tomorrow.
It's gonna be missing.
What?
So we're not-
what?
Okay.
Yeah. I will just say that while Mr. President, continues to play emperor, I guess you could call him, that the people would just keep showing up for our democracy, to fighting for our democracy or for other people, right? For justice for everybody. And don't bow to this wannabe king. And what else? Stay loud. Stay loud. Speak up. Don't stay silent. Stay human.
Bad.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
You got any words of encouragement? The cousin, you want to say?
There was once upon a time in U.S. history, there was a time where Republicans had respect towards the Democrats and Democrats had respect towards the Republicans. Well, Trump he's created an environment that's so hateful that he doesn't want that. He doesn't want them to realize that, oh, Nate, we need to freaking team up with the Democrats to overthrow Trump. But they're not coming to that realization, and I'm scared. I'm going to love my family extra hard. Just... Oh, no.
Yeah,
How can I say that better? How can I say that part
Just
better?
live.
You're gonna live life to the fullest, showing love to your family.
Yeah, tell my loved ones I love them a lot because I don't know how many years we have. We still have 3 years and like 6 months for Trump.
Pretty
We're
much.
not gonna make it that long.
Be there for each other. Be there for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give the people that you love the gift of time. That's the most valuable thing we have.
Yeah, and still try to inform people that are misinformed. Like there are minds that can be changed. They just need that person to speak to them and give them a different side to a story. That maybe they are a different piece to like a view that they're not seeing, to see that same perspective. I don't know. Just try to reach out to people. Like even.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's best not to cut off like full communication. Maybe to some people, but as soon as we cut off that communication. Oh, I got a burp. Hold on. Oh man, never mind, everybody. Just y'all have a good night. Thanks for putting up with our shenanigans. We're gonna eat our Taco Bell.
I think you guys are, I think you guys are a little bit delirious from the hunger, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the hunger.
I agree.
But anyways, cousin, I'm super proud of you for speaking up for being open to new ideas, to to continue to grow. And you're on the right side of history. Hopefully, everybody listening does the same thing. Keep your open minds, open hearts, and don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Support the algorithm. Support the little people. Love everybody.
Man.
All right.
Love you, cousin.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.